Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and what a night of boxing in Orlando, Florida, at the Caribe Royale Prime PBC boxing card that took place moments ago. Like I said, tremendous night of boxing, man, and what a way to start. I'm going to talk about the card in its entirety, like, the main card. 3 fights on hand. There was 3 fights on hand. First fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and it is quite possibly the fight of the year. One of, if not, Cesar Mateo Tapia, Mexican warrior, Tijuana, but currently resides in Australia for years now. He took on Saavedra from Venezuela, who also he fights Mexican. So when you got a Mexican and someone that fights Mexican, and you can expect a firefight, right? Style makes fight in boxing, and that's what we got. Coming in, I didn't know too much about Saavedra, but he impressed me tonight. Of course, he impressed not only me but everyone that saw the fight. The warrior that he is, just like Mateo, and these two guys were just going tit for tat. You hit me, I hit you back harder. You know it is Rios Alvarado, Corrales Castillo type of fight. Nip and tuck, mano a mano. ¿Quién es el más macho en la pelea? Mateo Tapia, man, his right eye was all busted up, swollen shut. Mateo got dropped 3 times in the fight. Okay, so just realize here now. So he's from Venezuela, of course, like I said, but resides in Tijuana, where Mateo is from. But like I said, he lives in Australia, so that's one of the reasons why he fights Mexican, and that's why a lot of, like how he said in the post-fight interview, a lot of people from Mexico and Tijuana, they love him. They rooted for him in this fight. So basically, it was a battle of Tijuana, and these two guys showed out. Mateo got dropped 3 times in a nip and tuck type of fight like this, close rounds. And then Mateo got dropped 3 times by Andre. They gave it a draw. And I think they should have given this fight. I don't mind the draw, man, but if you want a winner, give it to Saavedra. I think he deserved it in a hard, brutal fight like this, and he dropped Tapia 3 times. I think they should have given him the nod in this fight. But a draw is fine, like I said. Everyone saw a great fight. Money's worth. Fight of the year so far. One up, if not. And these two guys stole the show. The next fight, co-main, Tellez versus Johan Gonzalez. This was the biggest test of Tellez's career, and it showed. He had some tough rounds in there with Johan. Johan, hard puncher from Venezuela. A lot of experience, and he gave some tough rounds for Tellez. But Tellez, with the skills that he has, the Cuban boxing skills being on display, he showed it. Tellez is the guy that goes in there. Yes, he's Cuban. He can box. Hit and not get hit, but he also fights. He's willing to go toe to toe. So Ioannis did that. He saw that, okay, Johan is giving me a tough fight, so it's time for me to bite up down my mouthpiece and press forward and see what happens. He was able, before when Tellez dropped Johan for the first time, he got out of the way of Johan. When Johan was getting on the offense, he moved out of the way, turned him, double jab, straight right hand down the pipe, right on the chin, and down goes Gonzalez. That was the first knockdown. And after that, man, it was just a matter of time. Tellez was just peppering him, busting him up with power shots, and it was just um well, it became a brutal display of dominance by Tellez, showing why the boxing world was impressed by him. And I saw that, and yeah, he is something to watch. He's entertaining. He's not your typical Cuban hit and not get hit, be boring like Regan Diao and you know Ares Landy Lara. Those type of fighters, you got to press them, put pressure on them to make them fight. But Yohannes Tellez brings the fight, so he's the total opposite. 24 years old. Sorry, guys. I always get my ESPN notification all the time because I got the app. Yep, 24 years old, Cuban. Fights out of Texas, residence. That's why Ronnie Shields trains him. Ronnie Shields trains a lot of Cubans. He likes training Cubans for some reason. Nothing bad. Cubans are excellent fighters, so maybe that's why. They're very talented. Maybe easy to coach. Because they're so disciplined and they have that style, that Cuban style, that's instilled in them from their amateur days. Main event time, ladies and gentlemen. Main event, which did not last long. Australia's son, Tim Tszyu, came back to America once again since losing a brutal war to Fondora. And, Tim, like any other fighter, trying to bounce back from the loss. And he was the favorite coming in. Everyone, even though Bahkram has been seen before. But Tim was the favorite. And Tim went in there, man. And that first round, these two guys were going at it from the get-go. There was a point in the fight where Tim touched his head like, his cut looked like, I guess his cut was open again. Because I thought the cut was open again, and I thought we were going to see some blood again. Like, here we go again. Tim was involved in the fight of the year contender with Fondora, and in my opinion, it's my fight of the year so far. That bloodbath, bloody fight. So I'm like, okay, I guess Tim is going to be another part of another bloody war because it looks like the cut is open again, but it never dripped blood. So he got hit there, and I guess you're like, okay, I guess just checking. So Tim and Bahkram was going at it that first round. Both guys exchanging heavy leather. And the second round, Tim got dropped multiple times. And then in the last round, in the third round, TKO victory for Bahkram over Tim Tszyu. It was a total of 6 knockdowns that Bahkram scored on Tim. And man, it was just, the heart of Tim. Tim's a warrior. He comes to fight. He's money's worth. He comes to fight, like how he says. He's in there to die. He's in there to die. That's a warrior. That's a fighter. It's a dangerous fighter. He's in there to die. You gotta give him credit for it. He doesn't duck a soul. He just comes to fight. Tim Tszyu suffering now his second loss in a row, this time by stoppage. So he went from bad to worse. Boxing and styles make fights. And Tim just got caught, man, because he was having his moments until he got caught. But this is worse than the Fondora because he got sparked out by Bahkram. He had no answers. The defense was not there like that. He's known to be a little bit too open in his fights. But it worked with Carlos Ocampo. It worked with Tony Harrison, Brian Mendoza, good fighters that he beat. But when he with Fondora and Bahkram, he lost. Back-to-back losses. It's one thing to lose 2 fights, but to lose them back-to-back and in the way that he lost them, especially the one that he lost against Bahkram, which was the recent one, you tend to ask yourself, is my career over? A lot of people are saying he's done, and I'm not. And I'm saying I don't. Yes, it was a bad loss tonight, but he's 29. He's not 39. He's 29. He's still young. He's got 2 losses against 2 top fighters in the weight class. I don't think it's the end. Tim will be back. He's gonna need a bit of a soft touch because these 2 fights that he had back to back, Fondor and Bahkram, were 2 hard opponents, 2 top opponents, top 10 junior middleweights. He's gonna need to fight someone maybe in the top 15, top 20. A bit of a soft touch, not too much, not too soft, but a little bit to get his confidence back, to get a win back. Likely in Australia. Something is in the air, man. Because Tim, anytime he fights in the States, is like he has no luck. He has no luck. The draw with Fondora, getting knocked out tonight by Bahkram. When he goes to fight, when he fights away, like with Tony Harrison, Ocampo, Brian Mendoza, he has good luck. Those fights were not in the States. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were not in the States. The fights that were in the States, he lost. For whatever reason, Tim has no luck in America. Maybe one day he changes that, but for now, he's 2-0 in America in terms of losing. He's 0-2 basically. In the normal way you want to put it, normal way you put it, 0-2. I say 2-0 because that's 2-0 with losses in America. He's undefeated when it comes to losing in America, which is crazy. So yeah, man, I hope Tim can bounce back. I like Tim. He's a good fighter. He's a warrior. I like fighters that come to fight. That just go in there and let their hands go and whatever happens, happens, man. Warrior. But that's all she wrote for tonight, guys. From Caribe Royal, major upset, Tim Tszyu getting sparked out. That was unexpected. I was expecting a good fight, and it was looking to be a good scrap. Turning out to be until Tim was not it, until Tim got stopped. Tim got dropped 6 times in this fight. That's crazy. And that's that. Miracle Boy Boxing, guys. I'm your host, Wilson Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.